we are back, baby. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. We are back and better than before. Every Wednesday is going to be the launch of a new podcast. I'm your big sister. Let's chat. Like, I'm in my socks in your home. You're in my home. We're just having a cup of wine or a coffee and we're just hanging out. 2024 was a really, really impactful year. We had highs, we had lows. We traveled so much. I started doing word of the year, I think 2 years ago. My word of the year 2 years ago was execute. My word of the year last year was harmony. My word of the year this year, drum roll please. You have to change that mindset that you're going to just do this for a 4-week plan. This is what's going to take you on through the rest of your life. And if you can find something that you enjoy, then you have a better opportunity of sticking with it, therefore hitting those goals. Let's talk about one of the most asked questions this year. That is about my activewear brand, Levavi, and why it's kind of just stopped. Happy New Year, my loves. I am so excited. Before anything, thank you so much for joining me on January 1st, 2025. I cannot believe we're doing this. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. We are back and better than before. I am so unbelievably excited to be bringing back the podcast. I've missed you guys so much and we are back, baby. If you have no idea what you're listening to, this is the podcast called Better Than Before, which is why it's funny. I love that I'm explaining my own joke. Anyway, no, let's start over. Let's be serious. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so unbelievably excited to be doing this again. I feel like now I have a much better plan. I have systems in place, and I wanted to kind of just touch on what happened, where I've been in terms of the podcast, and what the future looks like. For today's episode, today is, I am recording this on December 30th, right before the new year, and this is launching on the 1st, which it's going to be, every Wednesday is going to be the launch of a new podcast. And I am very proud to say that we have episodes all the way until March. I have been working behind the scenes on this because I really wanted to bring the podcast back. I enjoyed it. I love talking to people. I love listening to podcasts. And selfishly, the reason I started this podcast was to have like an outlet of fun, an outlet, a chance to talk to people, to learn and pick their brains and just share this information with you guys. Again, it's supposed to be fun. Like, I'm your big sister. Let's chat. Like, I'm in my socks in your home. You're in my home. We're just having a cup of wine or a coffee and we're just hanging out. Like, this is not for me to I don't know. It wasn't I put too much pressure on myself to have this podcast and be super perfect. And I don't want this to be a business of sorts. I just wanted to have fun. And I lost sight of that. And I took too many things on and, things will, I have a, oh,
too many things on. So I know you want this.
Oh, thank you. Taz just brought me a drink. Oh, do you hear that? Let's put it by the mic. Oh, try to guess what I'm drinking before I announce it. Thank you, babe. That's so nice. I love it. No, I love it.
Love you.
Love you. Thank you. Taz just brought me, if you're watching the YouTube video, you'll know, or the video version, Taz just brought me a recess in a wine glass. This is my go-to drink because I don't really drink. Oh, so good. But see, there it is. Like, it's supposed to be carefree. Like, this would happen if you're at my home and we're having a chat. You know what I mean? So I want this to be a place where you can come and have a good time as if you're talking to a big sister or a good girlfriend. So I do have my phone here because I wrote some notes about what I wanted to chat about and update you guys on. Like I said, there's going to be a new episode every Wednesday, which I'm really excited about. We'll have amazing guests and we'll have Taz join from time to time. And then we'll also do some solo episodes. So let me know what you guys want to hear, who you want on the podcast. I am a very small podcast right now, but I think the more you listen and the more you download and the more you share these episodes, it'll be good for me to get some really great people on. So let me know below who you'd like to have on the podcast or what you'd like me to talk about, and I will make sure to do that. But I wanted to like kind of touch again on why I kind of like just stopped with the podcast and the renewed vision for the podcast. I touched a little bit on it, but like I said, I just took too many things on, and I am a person that I like a lot of different things. And I can't niche down on something. And it might be my biggest fault, but also like a positive because I enjoy so many different things. Right. And so when I get an idea, I have to act on it. And sometimes that happens without having a plan in place. And it's almost like I'll just figure it out once the time comes. And so I did for a little bit, but as you guys know, it kind of just blew up in my face. Not like literal blow up because no one really like probably noticed, but I just took too many things on and I couldn't do it all. And the things that had to drop were the podcast, and which I'll talk about in a second, Levavi. Excuse me. And so I decided that I didn't want to put anything out just to put something out. Like I wanted it to be, even though this is like a fun project, I do want it to be good, and I do want it to be thought out and impactful and make a difference of some sort, whether it be entertaining or educational or just a Q&A. I don't know. I just didn't want it to just be like, let's just throw something on the wall and hope it sticks. Like that's never my intention with anything that I'm doing. So if I can't do it right, I'm just not going to do it. So that's why the podcast kind of fell off by the wayside. I was just very what's the word? Invested in other things, other projects like the Fit Club, my fitness app, and it's been doing so amazing. And so I was pouring a lot into that. It required a lot of nurturing because it's like the start. And so that's been going really well. And something was like nudging me to do the podcast again. And I had like a little talk with myself. And I'm like, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it right, because I don't want you to like come back and stop. Like that's just annoying, even for me. And so I put systems in place. And like I said, I've been recording some podcasts behind the scenes this year so that I have a bucket or a schedule in place that I am not necessarily like doing it from week to week, and we are months in advance. And of course, if like something timely needs to come up, I can move some things around and I can do like a personal solo episode and just upload it when I want. But I still have these episodes with other guests in the bucket that I can always pull from and have it ready to go, so that I do have, like I said, those systems in place. And so that's what happened. Nothing crazy. But for the vision, like I said earlier, I just want this place to be a comfort place for you. The term content creator is trending right now. And I realize that's kind of what I want this to be. Like, I want you to feel comfortable here. I want you to feel welcome. And you always have a place here. And like I said, tell me what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. We can talk about like personal things. We can talk about anything you want. I am an open book. You guys know that, obviously, with, to a certain degree. And I just want a place that you can come and experience joy, and whether it be you're laughing your eyes off or eyes off. What did I just say? We're laughing your eyes? I don't even know. I think I started saying ass and I didn't want to curse, and then it went to eyes. Whoops. 1 second, drink break. But yes, I just want you to have a good time when you're here. So get ready to laugh, hopefully. Okay, let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I wanted to talk about the year recap. I'm not going to go too crazy, but 2024 was a really, really impactful year. We had highs, we had lows, we traveled so much, and it was a great year all around. I'm going to make a recap video on TikTok and Instagram, and probably YouTube as well, because I have to. And it's just really great to look back on and see. What I actually like to do is go through my photo roll and see the times or the photos and the videos of the months prior, because it makes you really reflect on your past year. So if you haven't done that, maybe that's something that you could do, because I think sometimes a lot of us think about the hardships of the year and how we want 2024 to be over. But I think it's also great to be thankful for, the good and the bad, but also re-experience those good times, because hopefully you have those memories on your phone because you wanted to treasure that moment so badly. I know that I have like these moments that like might not seem like much. Like I took a picture of Luna's bun for her dance recital, and as I was doing her hair, I remembered like I want to memorize this moment forever because it was just such a feel good moment for me. And anybody that was like looking through my phone would see a picture of her bun and be like, it's just her hair in a bun. It means nothing, but for me, it meant so much more. And I don't know, just look through your phone or your photos and take a trip down memory lane, because I think life is moving so fast these days that we forget to just sit and reflect. And that is actually one of the things I love about a new year. It like makes you slow down and makes you reflect on the past year, what went well, what didn't go well, and these improvements you can make into the following year. I am a I don't want to curse too much, but a whole you can figure it out. For planners and like planning in general, that like the New Year's like my Super Bowl. If I could, and if I had like the ability to like go off the grid for like 3, 4, even a week, I totally would. I wanted to do that this year, like go camping, not really camping, but like go rent like an Airbnb in the woods and take 3 days to just kind of like reflect on the past year and plan for the new year, and not plan so much like to the T, because what the heck do I know I'm going to do in 6 months? Like I can't plan that far ahead, but have like these goals and things that I would like to achieve or feel in 2025 so that I have a good starting point, if that makes any sense at all. But I can't do that because my dad's here. My mom lives with us at the moment, but my dad is here visiting as well. And we actually had Taz's parents here. They just left yesterday. So we've had a full house, and I don't want to leave them, obviously, while they're here. So I think I'm probably just going to take a day and go to like a coffee shop or something and sit with my planner and just like I said, reflect and plan for 2025. I am very excited for 2025. There are a lot of things that I have planned, not necessarily set in stone, but things that I would like to start doing in 2025. Some things personal that might happen. I have a really good feeling about 2025, and I'm really excited to go into it with that mindset. I have gratitude for 2024. I feel like I've set the foundation for certain things, my businesses. I'm at a really good point with my mental health. I started my neurofeedback this year. I started therapy this year. I started hobbies this year. And all of those things have been so impactful for my health and for my mental well-being that I feel like 2025, if I take those things in with me, it's just going to continue getting better. So I am very, 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 very excited. Okay, so let's talk about actually, before I talk about that, I was going to talk about my word of the year. I was also going to talk about, actually, let's do that. Let's talk about my word of the year. If you don't have a word of the year, I think it might be, I actually think it's very beneficial. Maybe even more so than resolutions, because I feel like resolutions, it is driven by motivation, and we all know that motivation is fleeting. And sometimes when the motivation kind of falls by the wayside, we don't pick it back up, and then we shame ourselves and we go into this crazy cycle. But I started doing word of the year, I think 2 years ago, and that has made a huge impact on my life. So I forget my word of the year. I do remember. My word of the year 2 years ago was execute. And that's when I did the podcast, or launched the podcast, had the event, had all these things. And my word of the year last year was harmony, which I think was really, really good for me, because with execute, I took too much on, obviously. And I took the word a little too literally, which is all a learning. Like, it's all been a learning game for me too, because I executed too much 2 years ago. And then I was like, I girl boss too hard. I don't want this. Like it's too much. And then my word of the year, my word of the year last year was harmony, because I wanted some harmony in my life. I didn't want to completely stop doing what I'm doing because I love what I'm doing, but I wanted there to be harmony throughout. I am very quick to get overwhelmed sometimes. And don't get me wrong, I got overwhelmed a lot this year, but I would always think of the word harmony and what I wanted it to be. And I would like sometimes have to check myself and be like, okay, chill. You're putting too much pressure on yourself right now. Like, let's pull back a little bit and think about what it is or why it is that you're doing what you're doing. And is there anything you could do to make it more harmonious? And my word of the year this year, drum roll, please. I've actually decided on 2. And it's, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to say it, like which one I want to say first, because that obviously has like, it has importance, right? Which one goes first? But I think I've settled on heart and discipline. And I chose those 2 for numerous reasons. Number 1, for heart, I am a very, 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 very emotional person. And I fear that people wouldn't know that based on social media. If you've been following me for a very long time, then you'll know that I used to post like these captions, like these heartfelt captions, like inspirational and like things that I was going through and experiencing. And it was almost like my diary. And then something happened, something shifted where it started being more like, I don't even know what, to be honest, but it maybe like more surface level, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out what it was, but I am not as, I guess my heart is not on my sleeve as much on social as it used to be. And I miss that because while I started social media over 10 years ago, it wasn't to, I didn't want to be famous by any means. That was not the goal. Like social media for me was like just, it was for me. It was for me to have this photo album of my life, and it grew into a business. And I am super fortunate and I'm very grateful that that's what it's become, because I am able to live this life. But at the same time, I almost want to go back to my roots and be more intentional about what I post and share a little bit more of my heart on social, because that's what I want. That's what I want the community to feel. I want the community to feel me and my personality. And I don't want people to make an assumption of who I am based on these surface level posts, if that makes sense. Again, I don't think that like, I don't know. I don't know if I make any sense at all, but that is why I chose heart, because I want to re-nurture my emotional side and my sentimental side. And especially now as a mom, I want to look back on these years and not have my social media be like, or only be clothing hauls and workouts, which those are all great and those are great. I'm not shading anything about those because I'm probably still going to do them. But I also want to have the posts with my family and Luna and how I felt about being a mom, and how, because I think what happened is I stopped posting these types of things for fear of how I was going to be perceived. And something that I struggle with in terms of social media is that because I have a K as my followers, like more than 10,000 followers, I feel as though, I'm going to try to make this make sense. I feel as though I am perceived as an expert in fitness, in life, or because, and I know I'm not, that's the whole point. Like I'm not. And so when I share things that I'm struggling with, dogs, sorry. My mom, stop, my mom, stop. And so when I share things that I'm struggling with or having a hard time with, I feel like I'll be looked down upon, maybe not down upon, but like looked like less than my peers. And then it's like a whole thing. I'm talking about it with therapy, but that is why I chose heart. And then I chose discipline because, and I'm going to put myself out here for a second. I look back at the things that I've done, and while I'm very proud of myself, I am, and it took me a long time to be able to say that, I am proud of the things that I have done. But, and I might sound crazy for saying this, but I say to myself, imagine what you could have done if you had more discipline. And I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. I'm outing myself here so bad. There are things that I have done or that I do. I'm a really good procrastinator. Like I am top tier procrastinator. And so what happens with me is if I'm procrastinating something long enough, I'm going to get it done. Like that is not a question. And I'm going to get it done really well. But if I wasn't procrastinating, imagine the other things that I had time for, things that I want to do that I don't have time for, things that I get mad at myself because I don't have time for them. And so with that, I am, well, to mix of things, right? I'm choosing heart and discipline because I want to be intentional and use my heart for the things that I do want to do in 2025, but also have the discipline to do them, whether it be in business, whether it be as a wife, whether it be as a homeowner, whether it be as a mom, a friend. All of this takes discipline. And I wanted something that was going to be holistic for life, not just like a business or a home. I want this word to take over my entire life, or words, I should say, for this year. And so that's why I chose on those two words, and discipline. Like, let's just, another example for discipline. Excuse me. Like, let's say, my office usually becomes a mess. I also just realized that I probably shouldn't be drinking a carbonated beverage as I'm podcasting because the gas in this is just killing me. But let's just go back to the office example. So I'll be, working and packages come in, or I have things that need to get looked at, or mail, or my book. Like, it's just my office. I'm looking at it right now. It becomes a literal nightmare. And instead of cleaning it before it gets worse and worse and worse, I keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And I just keep getting messier, and it keeps getting messier, and it clutters my brain, and it becomes a whole cycle, right? But if I was disciplined enough to clean my office after I use it daily, I would not have the problem that I have at least once a week. So it's things like that that I know is going to improve my my well-being, my daily life, if that makes sense. So again, it could be business related, it could be home related, it could be, just personal related. I wanted something to be like I said, holistic. And I think those two words really encapsulate what I'm feeling and what I want to bring into 2025. So again, it is heart and discipline. And if you haven't decided on your word of the year yet, maybe take a few hours and really think about it. Don't just pick something because you think it sounds good. For me, my process for this is something crazy, but I start thinking about what I want to accomplish, what I want to feel in 2025. It's mostly what I want to feel, to be totally honest. And for me, I want to feel proud of my accomplishments, and I want to feel proud is in terms of the discipline, because I've created this life for myself where I feel the peace that I want in my life. And then heart is because I really miss that emotional side of me, and I want to bring that out. So that's why I chose it. So start thinking about how you want to feel at the end of 2025, and then start bringing in those words that could maybe add to those feelings. And then you could write them down and whatever, or you can just think about it in your head. That's what I did. I think I was in the shower or maybe I was driving. But I start saying these words in my head. And then for me, what happens is I feel oh yeah, that's the word. And I feel complete peace with it. And I don't feel like I'm striving too hard, or it's too far fetched, or for instance, my word would never be millionaire. It's too, tangible. Is that the word I want? It's too, I guess it's not broad enough, because like I said, I choose these words for a multitude of things. And again, that goes to show you I can't niche down to save my life. But yeah, that could be that could be a really expansive exercise to bring in 2025. And so if you have it, and if you have a significant other or a best friend or a family member, that could be really cool to do together, like over some wine or a coffee shop or whatever. So yeah, think about it. And if you decide on one and you feel so inclined to share your word below in the comments. I'd love to hear them and have conversation around it. With that, I did want to touch on New Year's resolutions and specifically in like the fitness and wellness space. And I hope that it encourages one of you. I think a lot of you, myself included, in the past years, I think about New Year's resolutions, and usually it's about somebody's body, right? Like, I want to lose weight, I want to gain muscle, or this is the year that I'm going to get the six pack, or this is the year that I'm going to, become my best self. And I think that's great because I'm all about self-improvement. But I think the one thing that people fail to remember is that you could pick whatever diet, you can pick whatever workout routine, but if you don't stay consistent, it's not going to work. We have to remember that it's a lifestyle change, not necessarily a quick fix. And I still know people that are like, this year, it's going to be the year I'm going to stick to my diet. I'm going to stick to this. And it's not about that. It's about, for instance, somebody DM'd me and they're like, I need help. I've been working out for a couple days and I'm not seeing any difference. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the thing. When you start working out, you have to change your mindset and think, I am starting to work out and this is going to be my new normal for the rest of my life. It's not like, okay, I'm going to work out for 6 weeks and then I'm going to reach my dream body or my goal and then I'm going to be done working out, because unfortunately that's not how it works. You have to work out for the rest of your life. And not even for physical reasons. It's about your, like, holistically, like, research has shown time and time again that movement, whichever type, is good for your brain, your health, for everything. So if there is one thing that you take away from this, if you have been struggling to stick with something, I need you to experiment with things. Experiment with different movement types. Do you like weight training? If you don't like it, then move on to the next. Although I will suggest at least do twice a week because it is good for you. Not for weight loss. I'm talking about for your life. Okay. It's good for your bones to build strong bones, or to maintain strong bones, I should say. Especially if you're getting older. But I should also say, if you hate working out, maybe think like, take dance classes, go on a walk club, I just need you to move more, because movement is the goal, not necessarily the gym for weight loss, if that makes sense. And again, we can elaborate this on a separate episode if you guys want. You can ask me any questions that you have on that. But I did want to just like briefly mention and encourage you again that as the new year comes, we're going to have all the goals for diets and weight loss and whatever. I need you to find something that you enjoy so that you stay consistent with it, because you have to change that mindset that you're going to just do this for a 4-week plan or a 6-week plan. This is what's going to take you on through the rest of your life. And if you can find something that you enjoy, then you have a better opportunity of sticking with it and therefore hitting those goals. Does that make sense? Let me know. Okay. What else? Oh, speaking of the programs and stuff, we are launching a new challenge over on the Fit Club. Again, if you have no idea what the Fit Club is, it is my fitness app. It is available on Apple and Android, but it's called the Fit Club. I'm going to take a sip of this drink. 1 second. And we are doing something that we've never done on the app. And for this New Year's challenge / program, we are doing, it's called 25 Live. And my intention behind it was to do 25 days for 2025 and do a live workout with you every single day. So imagine you going to a class, to a boutique studio and taking a class. That's exactly what we're going to be doing, although it's just going to be virtual. So every day from Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Central, you will be working out with me, your trainer, and we will be doing a 30-40 minute class. And we're going to be doing that for 25 days. And I am so excited about it because, number one, you guys are holding me accountable, right? And I'm holding you accountable. And don't you worry if you can't make the 7 a.m. class, it's going to be on the app. So you'll still be able to do the challenge on the same day. It'll just be the class from the morning. So besides the 25 workouts and they're going to be 5 weeks. So it's 5 weeks of workouts. I wanted it to be a little bit more holistically, not just based on, how heavy you can lift or how much weight you can lose. I wanted it to be, like I said, more holistic in terms of your brain and, what you can bring into 2025 to make it your best year yet. And so every single week, we're going to have a theme, which you'll know about when the challenge starts. And we'll be focusing on that theme for that week. I have a journal that's also going to be included that you can, excuse me, it'll be morning journal and an evening journal, weekly check-in. And again, that theme will be threaded throughout your journal. And I feel like I'm missing something, or I was going to say something that it just escaped me. I don't remember. I'm sure it'll come to me. But yes, we start January 6th. 6th. What is wrong with me? 6th. We start January 6th at 7 a.m. Central. That's the first workout. It'll be Monday. The Monday after New Year's, obviously. And it's going to be strength workouts. What you'll need for the workouts are medium to heavy dumbbells, a yoga mat or a soft surface, hip bands, and then, of course, a soft or just some space. So you could use a yoga mat or a soft surface. And I am just so excited about it. And I just can't wait to do this with you guys and the entire community. You guys are literally the best community. And I'm really excited. So I'll leave the link in the description box below so that you guys can check it out if you're interested. And if you haven't joined the app yet, you do get 7 days free to try it out. And so you guys can try out the challenge for the first week, and I'm sure that you'll stay on for the next 4 weeks. Again, it's a 5-week challenge. You'll get the journal, you'll get the weekly. Oh, that's what I was going to say. With the weekly themes, you're going to get a weekly meditation regarding or surrounding that theme. So again, it's super holistic. We are not only training the body, but we're also training the mind and getting into these practices that are really going to make your 2025 the best year yet. Okay, let's talk about one of the most asked questions this year, and that is about my activewear brand, Levavi, and why it's kind of just stopped. And I debated talking about this because I, number one, didn't really have an answer, but or like a concrete answer. Like I said, I'm a very emotional person and I want everything to have intention around it. And so I'll give you the full story. So I paid somebody that has a very has a very successful brand to do some consulting for me to try to see like what I could improve to just make my business more successful, which it was successful. It just depends who you ask, right? Like, I don't think my goal was to ever like sell Levavi to somebody. Anyway, long story short, this person essentially was like, oh, maybe you just stop it and you try to like focus on other things. And that made me like think, I was like, wait, do I want to stop Levavi? Like, she's right. I do have a lot of things on my plate right now. And so I kind of just stepped back a little bit to think about and process what we talked about. And I decided that, okay, maybe I pause on it right now because I did have too much going on and I'll like think about it later on. And I think I decided one day, I was like, wait, what? No, I don't want to stop Levavi. I don't want to end it. I don't want it to be a thing of the past. I love Levavi. I especially love Levavi because what I hear from you when you put on these pieces, that is my why in terms of Levavi. Like, I want you to feel like the best thing in the world when you put this on. And a lot of you tell me that. And so I did a lot of thinking and I was like, okay, maybe this is not the time right now, but it's definitely going to happen. So as of right now, nothing is coming out right now. But for me, I just can't put something out just to put it out. Same thing with a YouTube video, same thing with a podcast. Like if I feel like I cannot add value, then I'm not going to do it. So when it came to activewear and swimwear, I thought to myself, yeah, I can put out whatever legging, but I have a specific vision in mind with the fabric and the fit and all of these things that I wanted to save, number one, time, money, and like I said, again, do it with intention. Maybe that should be a word of the year too, because I feel like that's like a recurring theme in my life is intention. But I know that a lot of people just put out things to like a quick cash grab, and that just didn't feel right in my heart. And I respect you guys enough to not do that. I don't want to keep adding things to this world that don't make sense. That's just going to pollute it in, so many different sense of that word. So I took a step back and I said, okay, let me think things through, think about what I want to do with this, think about what I want to put out and not put anything out right now. And that's totally okay. And so I felt peace with that decision. So I did. And even though things are not coming out right now, does not mean that the sample process has not started again. So I'll leave it with that. No idea when the next launch is going to be, no idea what it's going to look like. I have a little bit of an idea of some pieces, but I just wanted to say thank you for, because even though you guys are asking about Levavi and wanting things and more launches, it's never been like nasty comments. And so I just wanted to thank you for that. I do say, this community is the best. I speak to a lot of people and they ask me usually like, do you get hate? Do you get hate? And I'm like, honestly, I don't. And I am forever grateful. Like, sure, I've gotten 1 or 2 or 3 here and there, but for the majority of it, you guys, I cannot have asked for a better community. And so I just wanted to say thank you again. The grace and the support and the compassion that you guys have shown me throughout the years is one that I will never take for granted. And so I just want to say thank you. I think we're wrapping it up. Like I said earlier, like tell me what you want to see. Actually, before we finish, let's talk about what I'm looking forward to in 2025. I am looking forward to traveling more. I think last year traveling to Europe, I've had the travel bug forever, but Taz mentioned, he's like, oh, I have the travel bug now. So I'm excited to see where we end up in 2025 in terms of traveling. Taz and I have been, thinking about maybe moving somewhere. We just don't know where. Don't know what's going to happen in 2025. That's kind of exciting. What else? Oh, I am speaking at the Create and Cultivate South by Southwest event. I got invited so graciously by Create and Cultivate. And so I'll be speaking on March 9th on a panel with some amazing women. It is a free event. So if you're in the Austin area or surrounding Austin areas, come out. I'd love to see you. But again, that's March 9th, I believe. What else? January is a challenge. We'll go into February. March, I have no idea. April, Taz's birthday. March will be South by Southwest. March, April, May. And yeah, I have no idea. June is my birthday and then the year's over. Bam. We're celebrating New Year's Eve next year. No, I don't know. I don't know what else. Like I said, I don't know too much far ahead. And I think I kind of like that. I like the element of surprise and new beginnings and just new adventures. And I think that's like a shift for me. In the past, I've been like, oh, I have to have everything planned. I have to have all these goals set out and like plan backwards to make them happen. But also, I think I'm at a point where I have a lot of great things in place that I've put in 2024. And honestly, saying this and talking about this out loud, I think I just realized that. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm proud of myself because I think when it goes hand in hand with like the new year and like new year, new me type thing, I think a lot of us want like a rebrand or like we have to make our lives completely different. And that's not necessarily true. I think I think what we should be doing is improving our lives, like adding to it, like adding to what we've done the year before, and just taking things that we could improve on instead of like a complete overhaul. And I think this is the first year where I kind of feel like, yeah, that's where I'm at. And it feels pretty good because I don't give myself enough credit. Look at this. I think therapy might be working. I'm so excited for 2025. It's unreal. But this was so much fun. I hope that you guys are happy that the podcast is back. Like I said, we're here and we're better than before, baby. You know what? I am asking my guests how, like the last question that I want to ask them on the podcast is, what's a piece of advice that has made you better than before? And I think I want to end with that today too. What is one thing in 2024 that has made me better than before? Also, can you tell that I did not plan this out? Like it just came to me. That is also one of my like, I want to say downfalls, because I get these good ideas like right before things are supposed to happen, like right now. So I have to think about this. Let me think. 2024, something that made me better than before in 2024. That rhymes. I felt like this year was really, really impactful. I will say like neurofeedback and therapy and working on my mental health and finding myself again, like creating that morning routine for me, waking up, doing my workout, doing my red light therapy, meditating, reading, just taking time for myself and finding me again, starting those hobbies. That was crucial for me. And while this happened towards the end, or I guess the last 6 months of 2024, I'm going to have to say that that's what's made me better than before, because I was like, it was like inner Yami was like screaming to get out. Like find hobbies again and do things that you enjoy and bring you joy. And so that was a priority for me last year, and I ended up doing it. And like I said, it's just been the best thing ever. So if there's one piece of advice that I could give you to help you become better than before, it is probably look within and see if you can do something for yourself, not for more money, not for like social gain or social media. It's like, what do you enjoy doing? What brings you joy? And go ahead and do that. So that's a good place to end. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you're excited for this new I guess season of Better Than Before. I am so excited for you guys to hear all the amazing guests we have in store for you. But that is all I have for you. Thank you so, so much. I love you so much. And of course, Happy New Year, my loves. Let's make it the best one yet.